Namaskara. The South Indian is here, and the South Indian today shall focus on Karnataka. Two stories. First is, of course, political, and the other is also political. But you know what? There are certain myths which are perpetrated, which all the time people talk about, like the BJP is a cadre-based party. Never expect any indiscipline from such a party. But then Indian politics is undergoing such a churn. It has been undergoing churn for decades now, but now particularly that it changes avatars just like that. Let's focus on the first story right now. In Karnataka, one of the reasons for the BJP's loss in assembly elections was the allegation of 40% Sarkara, a government which asked for a 40% cut from contractors for jobs commissioned. The ghost of the past is once again back to haunt the party, and this time it's from an insider. Senior BJP MLA Basangouda Patil Yatnal on Tuesday alleged irregularities to the tune of 40,000 crores in COVID-related procurement during BJP rule in the state. His anger at being sidelined, of course, notwithstanding, we all know he was not made the president of the state BJP unit and also not made the LOP. He is angry, he is irritated. But you know what? It is not just the party that he is accused, but trained his gun on ex-chief minister and one of the tallest leaders undoubtedly in Karnataka BJP, that is BS Yediyurappa. Will this latest accusation be grossly detrimental for the BJP, which is readying itself for 2024? Let me first introduce you to the experts on the panel and then go to the other issues, and let's understand what it means. Bhaskar Hegde, editor of TV9 Kannada Digital, my colleague, has joined us now. Vijay Grover, we are awaiting. BS Arun, a senior journalist, is also here, and Professor Chambi Puranik, political analyst, is here. So, the first question, like I said, I am going to ask you turn by turn, because see, there is one already 40% Sarkar allegation that they had to fight. But now with the 40,000 crore allegation during COVID procurement, and it's like, typical that when it is procured, it's overpriced. Who did this? And let me also add that this is an allegation. There is no proof to it as of now. Let me ask the guests what they think. Bhaskar Hegde, my colleague, goes up first. Bhaskar, very nice to see you after such a long time. Bhaskar, tell me something, that how detrimental will this prove for the BJP, and particularly when BY Vijayendra is trying his level best to quell small revolts within the party, trying to organize the party, trying to take everything along, and of course, this is the last hurrah of Yediyurappa as well.
Sudha, thanks a lot for having me on the show. I think, it's certainly an embarrassment for the ruling party, no doubt. Opposition party, no doubt. But we are yet to see whether it will have a direct impact on the forthcoming general election, because it's another 4 months away. There are 2-3 factors why I'm saying this, because Yatnal is a very hardcore loyalist of BJP. I'm not saying BJP, when I say BJP, not necessarily Karnataka BJP, central BJP. And he has been consistently maintaining that Modi should come back to power. And he's a very hardcore RSS man, no doubt, because everything what he speaks, it's almost in consonance with RSS principle or RSS ideology. So there is no difference between, in that sense, there are some of the supporters of Yediyurappa who may go deviate and speak something else. But whereas this man, Yatnal, is a very hardcore RSS and BJP man. So in that sense, it's very surprising why he's making such a statement to embarrass the party state unit, number one. Number two, as far as impact of his statement on national election is concerned, I think it's too early to say. But one more point I'll add here, and I'll give it to my other colleagues on the panel, that there is a expert judicial commission they have constituted, the Congress government. If at all this gentleman has any kind of evidence, I think he should go there and submit to the commission. instead of making allegations here and there on the street. Because see, what
Michael
happens?
Dickena, is this the Michael Dickena's commission, Bhaskar?
I think Justice Yediyurappa Commission,
Oh.
I think, if I'm not wrong. So that's why if he has any evidence as such, I think he has to submit before the commission, and then of course let us see what happens.
All right.
Yeah.
Arun, let me bring you in, and I'm taking a leaf out of where Bhaskar left it. He says, why doesn't this commission, I think, was formed in August, if I'm not wrong. And this is the handiwork of the Congress government, the ruling government right now in Karnataka. Someone may say, why should he go? Then, in a way, he is also giving credence to the Congress party. Already, Siddaramaiah, it's almost like he has the blessings of Siddaramaiah. Again, allegedly speculating, that this is what. Today, of course, Vijayendra had a meeting, and once again, there was a demand that he should be, removed from the party. But I am asking you this, when a party which is in opposition, you know that the kind of churn it went through just before assembly elections, this kind of allegation from an insider, very senior party member, the public really does not remember the kind of motor mouth comments that anyone makes, I will chop off your hands, I will do this, which Yatnal has said many times. Don't you think that it will really, it's dangerous when the party is trying to recreate or realign itself?
Well, BJP in Karnataka was never a solid or a united organization. There have been dissenting voices from for a very long time. Whether it was Yediyurappa who made charges against Yediyurappa, or Yatnal himself, who had been making allegations against Yediyurappa and his son for a long time. But the party did not take any action. We have to be very. One must point out this, that the party, the central leadership, did not take any action whatsoever on Yatnal, although he had been making allegations against these two leaders, and they even gave him the party ticket, which contested and won. So, and even after that, he was, of course, waiting for to be nominated, to be made the party president or the leader of opposition, but that did not come, and instead, his arch rival Vijayendra was made the party president. I think that has left Yatnal frustrated. And after that, he has made this charge now. And we have to see what the party action will be on Yatnal, whether they will dismiss him, whether they will issue him a notice, suspend him from the party, or they will just keep quiet, like they did in the previous. We have, as I have mentioned, it's not just Yatnal, it's others also, like Somana, for example, a senior leader, a Lingayat leader. This, while the allegation is about the misappropriation during the BJP rule, there is also another issue here. It is the internal battle within the Lingayats.
That I'll come to. Arun, I'll come to that, because I know it's Lingayat versus Lingayat. Let me also welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Vijay Grover into the debate. He's also joined us now. Vijay, I'll ask you something, that will this kind of 40,000 crores is not a joke. And when you're coming out of the 40% Sarkara allegation, which many experts say did cause the BJP, did impact the BJP, don't you think that this is the first question, that a party which is trying to kind of regroup itself. Now, we will go into Vijayendra's, appointment and the disgruntlement and all that. But he's tried to appease a lot of people. He's now going and meeting bishops, appeasing even minorities. We all saw that picture in newspapers, Machado, when he went and met. But the point is that when someone inside talks like this and makes an allegation, don't you think it is terrible for a party which is trying to kind of realign?
Well, Sudha, the kind of, factionalism that we saw even during the last legislature session, I think so it's now out in the open. When Vijayendra stayed put, when the RXO gave us a call for walkout in the assembly, the divide was that time itself very visibly clear that there is still very heavy amount of factionalism which needs to be sorted out before the party can think of talking about 20 out of 29, or those kind of victory in the state in the parliament election. But clearly, the kind of attack that has been made by Yatnal now warrants not only a serious investigation, for the simple reason that this is not something we are hearing for the first time, that there was a scam during COVID. We've heard about it in several political quarters, and the fact that an entire inquiry has been ordered in this is something that needs to be looked at. But the most important thing that we now need to figure out on this is that who is Yatnal trying to attack? Is it the Home Health Minister Sudhakar of that time, or is it Yediyurappa, who was the Chief Minister in the initial stages of COVID, or was it Bomai? So clearly, this is something which warrants internal inquiry from the BJP as to who is he trying to get at. Whether it's Yediyurappa and Vijayendra, or is it Bomai, who's very close to Sudhakar. So this is something which clearly is, raising the smoke signals again that all is not well within the party. But the amount of 40,000 crores,
yes,
that is something which, warrants an entire investigation.
Yeah, it's huge.
As to where the money went.
Yeah, it's huge. And, I would request my colleagues to put up the graphics on the screen about what exactly, because Vijay actually, much like me, he said 40,000 crores is not peanuts. Every money counts, every rupee counts. These are the charges. What is Yatnal's big charge? 40,000 crore, the COVID scam. And then we shall show you the breakup. Look at the irregularities on your screens right now. In COVID related, this is an allegation. Of course, in the realm of speculation, 45 rupees for a face mask, which, were billed at 485 rupees. Typical case of corruption, where you just jack up the prices. Professor Puranik, tell me something. The BJP is a party which is supposed to be a cadre-based party. It is supposed to be a disciplined party. What is going on in Karnataka BJP, sir? Yatnal has always spoken like this. But on Yediyurappa, it's a huge charge. 40,000 crores.
Yes, so what you are saying is something, a big kind of bomb blast,
Yeah.
So, Mr. Yatnal was considered as a loose cannon. He would always shoot, and it would never reach the target. Now he has shot a missile. So I think the internal kind of division within the BJP party has come to surface once again with such allegations of from Congress was telling that it is 4,000 crores misappropriation. Now it is 10 times more than that. 40,000 is a huge amount, and I think the people of Karnataka will be surprised to know that this scandal, or whatever the kind of evidence Mr. Yatnal has got, he has not been able to put forward before his party or any other authority. As Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has said, Mr. Yatnal is known for hit and run case. I think this time he should give evidence before the committee, and he has suggested that let him go before Justice Nagmohan Das committee, though the Michael Kuna commission is looking into the COVID irregularities of that period.
Yes.
So I think in all these things are concerned, I don't think people take Mr. Yatnal seriously, because his aim is against BSY earlier. Now, having lost the opportunity of becoming president and even leader of the opposition, which Ashok has got it. So I think, he wants to tell the party that I am loyal to Prime Minister, I am loyal to High Command, but in the state, things are not going in the right way. So therefore, he has kind of, blackmailing tactics, I would say. But if 40,000 crores is an amount which he cannot justify before a commission, what he has said when somebody asked him, why don't you go and face the commission or give evidence, he says that is in PSC, Public Accounts Committee. And it seems his name was there during that period to make him as chairman of PSC.
Yeah, but then the point, but Professor, he's also said, that, I will go to any lengths to expose these people. These people are corrupt. I think he's just waiting for which way the wind will blow. We will get to know if the BJP actually takes a very important step, against Yatnal. But to all you gentlemen, requesting you to please stay on. Vijay, Bhaskar, Professor Puranik and also Arun, I am taking a short break here, but I am coming back and shall take forward this discussion.
Seeing is believing. Or is it? These are your favorite celebrities that you saw in the videos. But what if I told you that they are not?
Today, deepfake is one of the biggest challenges that the digital ecosystem is facing.
Cannot identify what is deepfake and what is real.
We have seen Rashmika Mandana go through the same thing, and this is becoming a common problem.
Everybody is going to be targeted.
The execution is there's a laxity in our regulatory execution. In times to come, that is going to cost us a lot.
All right, welcome back. The South Indian is here. We're discussing whether Yatnal's allegation of 40,000 crore of misappropriation during COVID on BS Yediyurappa is going to prove detrimental for the BJP. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fact that Yatnal's statements stem from his disappointment at B.Y. Vijayendra's appointment as State Unit President. Vijayendra's revamped team has 10 vice presidents, including ex-minister Murugesh Nirane and also Basavaraju, 4 general secretaries, including ex-minister B. Sunil Kumar and former MLAs P. Rajiv, N.S. Nandish Reddy and Preetham Gowda. There are 10 secretaries and new heads of various morchas of the party. And of course, R. Ashoka was appointed the leader of opposition. But you know what? Fine, Yatnal is angry. But he breached all parameters of decency and labelled Yediyurappa as Shakuni from the Mahabharata. He said, and I am quoting him here, the former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa is akin to the Shakuni character from the Mahabharata. He is cunning and shrewd. He makes statements that are convenient to him. He is denying it now and claiming that he will not complain against me. Mr. Yediyurappa thinks I am his political enemy. I am not. I am only speaking the truth. He has complained against me already, but the party high command is not acting against me. Just to save his face, he is saying that he will not complain. Now, let us also listen in to what Yatnal said for those who have just joined the show. Listen in.
45 ರೂಪಾಯಿದ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವರ 45 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಕರೋನಾದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಹಾಕಿರಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಾಗ ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ 485 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಗೆ ಉದ್ದಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇದು ಕರೋನಾದಾಗ 10,000 ಬೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ 10,000 ಬೆಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಇದು ತಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋರಿ, ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 2 ಬೆಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ? ಒಂದು ಬೆಡ್ಡಿಗೆ 20,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ, ಒಂದು ಪರ್ ಡೇ ಅಟ್ಟು. ಹಾಂ, 20,000 ಒಂದು ಪಾಠ, ಒಂದು ಇದು, ಒಂದು ಸಲಾನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಎರಡು ಸೆಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ. ಇವ್ರು ಒಂದು ದಿವ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕರೋನಾದಾಗ. ದಾಖಲೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ನಾಗೇ ಐತಿ. ಅದೇ ಎಚ್ ಕೆ ಪಾಲ್ರಿ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ. ಈಗ ಶಶಿ ಪಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿಯೋಂದ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಎಷ್ಟು 1,000 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹೊಡೆದಾರ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ. 40,000 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಐತಿ ಒಂದು ಕರೋನಾ. ಯಾರು ಬಡ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಒಂದು ದವಾಖಾನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕರೋನಾ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗೆ 8 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Bhaskar, how does this play out? Look at the complications involved in this. The High Command that is sitting in Delhi, they took Yediyurappa screaming and shouting from the chief ministerial chair and put Basavaraj Bommai in his place. Cut to when this man Yatnal on the screen, they were screaming and shouting and protesting, and they were called and said, please take it easy now. You know, don't do what you have to do. Yediyurappa is given charge once again, and Vijayendra is made the head of the BJP state unit, and once again this man is kind of protesting and screaming. What does this mean? Does it mean that he is trying, there is some kind of a conspiracy to put Yediyurappa in his place, or it is the other way that Yediyurappa is actually invincible? Decode this for us. Bhaskar?
Yeah. Now, I think there are two aspects involved in this. It's very interesting that he picked Yediyurappa regime and he targeted Yediyurappa. When his son is president of the state unit, he is targeting his father. Technically, if you see, Yediyurappa, if at all any irregularities happened under his nose, Yediyurappa has to face the trial, not Vijayendra, because Vijayendra was not in power technically. Number one. So, in that sense, the case becomes very weak for Yatnal technically. But as far as political rivalry is concerned, it's no doubt it's an embarrassment, and he wants to tarnish the image of Yediyurappa and his son Vijayendra, because at that time there was murmur in the power corridor that Vijayendra was ruling the Karnataka, not Yediyurappa. So that was a kind of murmur in the power corridors. One. Number two, see, if we see this Yatnal is basically like Siddaramaiah and Junior Kharge. He is also cherry picking. Basically, unless you provide evidence, unless you provide strong circumstantial evidence or whatever, money trail or whatever, it's very difficult to prove. It's beyond doubt that we have seen in many cases. No doubt, it may hit Vijayendra, it may stick Yediyurappa. There's no doubt. But politically, it's yes. But technically, and if you go by our rule book, it's very difficult to prove. And day by day, if Yatnal continues to attack Vijayendra and Yediyurappa, Congress may use it, but Yatnal may lose his credibility for simply one reason. Why? Because Congress will not always back in Yatnal, because there is a major difference between Yatnal and Congress leaders, including Siddaramaiah, Kharge, Junior Kharge, or anyone. Because when it comes to Hindutva and Muslim issues, the same Siddaramaiah and Kharge and others, they can't stand by Yatnal, because Yatnal takes a very rabid.
I know he's rabid. Yeah, he's a rabble rouser. Yeah, that's correct.
So
that's
therefore,
correct.
In that sense, Yatnal becomes single. He will be very cornered.
Right. Yeah.
Both one side on the corruption front, he will be cornered from the BJP.
Right.
And on the government and on the other social issues like hijab and various other issues, he will be cornered by Congress.
Right.
So ultimately, people may think that this man is a persona non grata.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Vijay, I want to bring you in here. Vijay, the whole point of him being a Lingayat, and it's very obvious that Mr. Yediyurappa, apart from his great administrative acumen, his acumen of running a party very, very well, and he's someone who's highly respected. Apart from the fact is that he's a Lingayat, it's something none of us can actually ignore. But with a senior Lingayat leader, whether he has RSS leanings, some people will turn around and say that Yediyurappa does not have RSS leanings. He also, is from the, not directly, but he does have what is called, he's an offshoot, let's say, for lack of any other word. Now, this Lingayat fighting, I am once again asking you that there, on the other hand, the Congress strengthening their Vocaliga kind of field and bastion, and the BJP which lost one after the other, Savadi and so many other leaders. Don't you think this is yet again a chink in the armor of the BJP, Karnataka BJP?
Well, see, very clearly, and Yatnal has been, one person whom the party has not been able to rein in, and I don't think so that will happen unless somebody senior in that high command, be it JP Nadda or Amit Shah, have a word with him straight and, speak to him. Maybe that is what he's trying to get attention of, that, he's given assurance that something will be done with him, because, his contribution to the party let's not forget, if BJP grew, especially in the region where Yatnal comes from North Karnataka, there is a big role that he has played in the growth of the party, and he feels that he's not been rewarded suitably. He has not been given the due credit that was due to him, and that's the reason why he feels that maybe Yediyurappa and family have overshadowed his contribution and snatched the credit from him. That is what keeps him ticked always, and angry that he waits for any opportunity where he can dig at Yediyurappa or Vijayendra and make his point where he wants that attention to be given to him. Certainly, Lingayat versus Lingayat is damaging the BJP. This is something because the BJP, which lost the assembly elections because a section of the Lingayat voters went away, is trying its best to rein them in. And this could be damaging, and that could be something where the party had now have to step in, maybe make Yatnal give him some central role, and keep him away from direct politics in the state. That could be the only solution we see, because he feels like a man who, when you saw Kannada and Amitabh Bachchan starers, you always felt that one of them was always shortage.
And on that note, I think, gentlemen, I'll take a break, but I'm coming right back, and then I'm going to the professor and also Mr. Arun to speak more on the issue. Don't go away. The South Indian will be back in a jiffy.
Seeing is believing. Or is it? These are your favorite celebrities that you saw in the videos. But what if I told you that they are not?
Today, deepfake is one of the biggest challenges that the digital ecosystem is facing.
Cannot identify what is deepfake and what is real.
We have seen Rashmika Mandana go through the same thing, and this is becoming a common problem.
Everybody is going to be targeted.
The execution there's a laxity in our regulatory execution. In times to come, that is going to cost us a lot.
तो जब हम करेंगे तो पता लग ही जाएगा। सलमान खान का करेंगे, मारेंगे यहीं जोधपुर में मारेंगे तो पता लग जाएगा।
This is someone who is sitting inside our jails and is still very obviously and openly running, and possibly the largest organized criminal operation in the country.
Student organization of Punjab University में सोपू का acting president type भी रहा है.
He was a troublemaker, getting into fights with people, not coming to the class.
As on date, it appears that Lawrence gang is the most important, the prominent gang. Gangs here in Punjab, they are intimidated.
Today, he is India's most dangerous gangster, and India's presence are apparently no bar to how Bishnoi runs India's largest criminal empire.
News is now content. Just stream it. Download the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
Since the last 2 years, Khalistani terror groups are threatening Indian diplomats in Canada, US, UK and Australia. Investigations of these threats led us to the first ever abduction and killing of an Indian diplomat, Ravindra Matre, in UK's Birmingham in 1984. Our months-long investigation finally led us to the murderer of Ravindra Matre, who has been hiding in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for the last 40 years. Watch our exclusive documentary, Murder of an Indian Diplomat, where we reveal the man who killed Ravindra Matre.
Stop searching, start streaming. Download the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
Welcome back. The South Indian is here. I've taken a break. We're discussing what you're seeing right now on this wall. Yediyurappa has been accused of 40,000 crores by Yatnal in a COVID scam, and that's what we are discussing. Before I went into a break, I had said that I'll get Professor Puranik to comment on this. Professor Puranik, is it also in more ways than one? You know, if to kind of undermine Yediyurappa's contribution or stature, because if this keeps going on, if in case, just in case, you know, 2024 BJP does not perform very well, then Yatnal and everyone else can turn around and say that it was just mismanagement because Yediyurappa just could not manage it. Plus, there was a big 40,000 crore scam accusation on him. So, is it one way of cutting down Mr. BS Yediyurappa, Professor Puranik?
Yeah, I think, no, same line I was also thinking that he is aiming at 2024 elections. In a couple of days back, you know, Mr. Yatnal said, if even from 28 seats, if one seat is less, then the responsibility will be on Vijayendra and also Yediyurappa. Even if they lose 1 or 2 seats also, they are people who have damaged the prospects of BJP like that. So this is what he is thinking. I think he is very clear in his, what you can say, two-pronged attack on both Vijayendra and Yediyurappa, and also on the kind of, 2024 elections, if by chance Modi factor and Yediyurappa trying to bring back Lingaites, and also Vijayendra being president of BJP in the new organization, and this kind of favorable situation, it emerges. And if BJP performs well, perhaps, both Yediyurappa and his son, they will be very firm in their rule or whatever leadership of the BJP party. So I think, there are many kind of hidden ambitions or agendas which Mr. Yatnal has got. But all said and done, I go with Mr. Sanjay Hegde. The credibility of Mr. Yatnal is very low. And I think even Chief Minister has, as I said, he says Mr. Yatnal is known for hit and run case. And if he has got anything, let him come before the commission. He won't go before the commission. He will only go to the press, and the press will highlight discussions like you and me and other channels discussing. This is how BJP's I think image will be tarnished. But I don't think it will have a big impact on 2024 elections. And in 2024 elections, if Lingaites support BJP, and because of Ashok, a kind of section of Vakaligas also come back to BJP, perhaps, if they perform well and get more than 20 to 22 seats, right, I think, BJP will be very fortunate, I say. But 2024 is still early because there are many new developments that are going to take place.
Absolutely.
And Yatnal will be sidelined because if he doesn't muster evidence and he simply says you go to PSC report and you take from there, I don't think anybody will take. As Mr. Sanjay Hegde said, legally, technically, right, he is on a very weak kind of position. Yeah. But politically, the masala, I think, Yatnal should be taken as a masala maker. And also, Lingayat versus Lingayat, he is in the forefront of Yediyurappa and family.
Yeah. B.S. Arun, I want to come to you. The fact that Vijayendra was chosen to lead the party unit reminds me of what they wanted to do in Telangana, which is of course after the win in Karnataka, that is BJP, is that not to have Bandi Sanjay at the helm of affairs. He is very shrill, very strident. He also talks very much like Yatnal. They gave it to Kishan Reddy, who is more kind of, accepting. So therefore, tell me something, that if the BJP, it is very clear that the BJP is perhaps sending out a message to Yatnal that your kind of propaganda of going hammer and tongs against the minorities is something, thank you very much, but we don't need it anymore. So do you think that there is, in a way, these days are numbered for Yatnal? It's only a matter of, let's say, 1 week before he will be reprimanded?
Well, it's difficult to say. See, he had made allegations earlier also, as I had said. He had said that in BJP, if you want to become a chief minister, you have to pay 25,000 crore. That's what he had said earlier. So for that, again, as Professor pointed out, the problem of credibility was there, and party did not take any action. And also he made other charges also then. So the thing is, will the party take a call on this now? I quite doubt, because if he stops talking about this in the next few days, then the party might even forget this. And if the state unit doesn't insist on any action, then the central leadership may not take any action. So it depends whether the party will be taking this very seriously, or it will just wait for some more days and sort of pacify Yatnal, and then let bygones be bygones. That kind of a thing also can be there.
All right. Bhaskar, I want to come to you. Amongst all this, one thing that everyone is forgetting is dynastic politics. The BJP has gone, to town saying, oh, Parivarvad when it comes to the Gandhis, when it came to KCR and KT Rama Rao in neighboring Telangana. This is clearly perpetuating dynastic politics, no? Yeah, Yediyurappa and son Vijayendra. So tell me something that, will that also add to the fuel? All of you feel, no, Sudha, it may not impact 2024, but somehow I get the feeling, and I hope I am wrong, that these things are just piling up now, and a time will come. Opposition always has a tough time, Bhaskar, as you know very well. But how much of an impact will dynastic politics have in all this, so as far as Yediyurappa and son are concerned?
Sudha, this dynastic politics issue will crop up, I think, in state politics. Since it is a national election, general election, I think this issue may not crop up and become a poll issue in Karnataka, number one. Number two, I think why High Command has chosen Vijayendra over Yatnal, there might be two issues. One is Vijayendra is not a rabble-rouser so far, till now, number one. Number two, as Vice President of State Unit and as in charge of various by-elections, he has proven the mettle, and he has ensured the victories of many candidates in by-elections. And he has a temperament which you and may not accept, but the politicians, particularly in the BJP Young Youth Brigade, all those people accept, and the temperament which they think Vijayendra has, the leadership quality which suits the senior leaders. I think this particular issue of the Parivarvad may not be a big issue in this general election.
And so, I mean, the thing is that I like this debate because it's almost like 2 versus 2 in the sense Bhaskar, my colleague, and also BS Arun, they feel not so much. The Yatnal allegation may not stick so much, whereas Professor Puranik and Vijay Grover do feel that this may impact as the days roll by. Let me thank all my guests. Bhaskar, thank you very much. Arun, thanks very much. Professor Puranik, such a pleasure, and also thanks are due to Vijay Grover. Thank you very much. But I am coming right back. That is the South Indian. We have another story from Karnataka, and it's about Kannada. What's in a mother tongue? Everything I say, you are identified by your mother tongue. Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu and Kannada. You know, so far as Kannadiga nationalism goes, there have been several instances. So it is not surprising that it's once again making headlines, and that's what you're seeing right now on the wall of the show of the South Indian. English signboards have been vandalized in Bengaluru. There has been much commotion in Bengaluru. The language row, like I said, in Karnataka is back again. On Wednesday, pro-Kannada activists from the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike held a violent protest demanding 60% Kannada on all signboards at the earliest. Multiple scenes of vandalism was witnessed in the state capital, Bengaluru, with many activists tearing down English signboards, spraying black ink on English letters and generally running riot. Look at those visuals on your screen right now. The police trying to control them. Let me also say that many of them have been detained, but this is how it looked like. So it was not an ordinary protest, it was a major protest. There was also disturbance reported at the Kempegowda International Airport. Look at those visuals. I'm keeping quiet for you to see that that was the impact that the language row had on Bengaluru. Look at that.
Outside a private hotel. So all said and done, the scenario is getting worse.
Now you may ask who or what started the riots. Well, it all began when the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike or BBMP announced that it shall suspend licenses of shops, hotels and malls that do not comply with the 60% Kannada rule on name boards by the 28th of February. The order also stated that stringent action will be taken against those who do not comply. Let me also add here that the language row is back in focus also because Chief Minister Siddharamaiah in October said, and I am quoting him here, everyone living in this state should learn to speak Kannada. We are all Kannadigas. People speaking different languages have settled in here, and everyone living in this state should learn to speak Kannada. So I am asking you, did that one statement, as also the order by the civic body BBMP, result as the first fire to kindle the language tinderbox? Has Siddharamaiah, in more ways than one, given right-wing groups on your screens right now to run riot to vandalize Bengaluru in the name of Kannada nationalism? Is this what it means to actually secure your mother tongue? I think not. There are other ways of actually fighting for the right that your mother tongue should have, which I think India does give the right for everybody to speak, write and practice their mother tongue, not this which you see on your screens right now. Well, the South Indian is going to say goodbye, but should I tell you what? There's something that you should not miss. Lawrence Bishnoi has been in prison since 2015, but that hasn't stopped him building India's most notorious crime syndicate. So what is he all about? It's coming up after my show. And as of now, the South Indian says, Vanakkam, Namaskara, take care of yourselves. Thank you.
India's most high-profile prison, the Tihar jail, is now the headquarters of the country's most notorious crime syndicate. Lodged within these walls is a man who was once a rising student leader, a national-level athlete, and an aspiring politician. Today, he's India's most dangerous gangster. You know him as Lawrence Bishnoi. And India's prisons are apparently no bar to how Bishnoi runs India's largest criminal empire.